Yo, what's going on, everybody? My name is Barba223. Welcome back to another video. I hope all of you are doing well. And yeah, pretty much. So, um, today we're going to be doing a Stamina Templar build. It is my build that I've been running lately in BGs. It doesn't work in no CP, no proc, but I'll give you an adjustment if you want that. Also, it works obviously in CP, but mostly a BG build, and with the change coming to BGs, it might be nice. So, anyways, let's get into it. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe because we need to get to 1,000 subs, boys. Anyways, so let's do the character screen. So, what we got here is 17k magic, which is good because you're going to need magic. You're going to need about 29 or 30k health, which I have. And then once I get to that, I just dump the rest into stamina. So, yeah. Recovery is 1261, but once you flip it, it's 1424. It goes up. It's actually about 400 something higher because of our one skill. So yeah, weapon damage is 4500 before our berserker and before Vate Strand proc. We have 7200 pen before our major breach. It's not bad. And then we have 17k armor unbuffed, and then we have 23k buffed, which isn't bad. It's not amazing, but it's still definitely not bad. Weapon crit is only 13% right now, but you can switch this skill out, something out. You can put on something else to make it higher if you want. And then we have the Shadow Mundas, and we're using Bewitched Sugar Skulls. So, yeah. I know a lot of people don't use Bewitched on stamina builds, but I like it. So, that's just what I use. Then it's up to you. So, yeah, let's just get into the gear. So pretty much on the front bar we're using Mechanical Acuity, pretty meta set right now. If it makes you guys feel any better, it's not Dark Convergence and it's not Hrothgar, so I think that's enough in itself right there to warrant using. I'm tired of Dark Convergence and Hrothgar, but I also don't like using them because I'm just not that guy. So we're using a Maul of Mechanical Acuity with Sharpened on it. I guess you could use a Battle Axe. Definitely could use a Battle Axe because we do a lot of crit damage on this build. And you could also use a 2H, I guess. I mean, it's really up to you. I think the Maul is the best. Penetration is better than anything else. So, we're using a Disease Whiff for the Monitor Defile when it procs. So, very solid. It gives Stam, Magic, Weapon, and Spell damage. And then when you deal damage, you get automatic crits for 5 seconds, and it has a 16-second cooldown. It says 21 seconds, but it's active for 5 seconds, so it's actually 16-second cooldown. Pretty much, it's a set to where you can time your burst and absolutely melt people. Trust me, your biting jabs is going to hit so hard when this procs. You literally could use one biting jabs and they're dead. Like, it's insane. It's such a good set. And this is actually a set you could use on a Magic Templar as well. You could run this exact build on a Magic Templar. You could even keep them all. You don't even have to change that. So, very interesting. I've been running Stamina a lot, though, because I think jabs is just so good. So, yeah. And then back bar, we're using Vate Strand. I have a Berserker Whip. We are using Sharpen, but that's because I used to use Vatistran on the front bar, so I had Sharpened on it. I gotta transmute this, but I would either go Defending or I'd go Powered. Probably go Powered for Rally. I mean, that's probably the best option. Defending is fine as well. It's up to you. Sharpen's probably not it if you're using a back bar, just so you know. And I'm sure all you know what Vatistran does. Momentum gives you a bunch of weapon damage every time you use a stamina ability, and then it gives a nice AoE even when you do any heavy attack, even if it's like that. Like that. Doesn't have to be full. So, yeah. Very good. So, next thing is our monster set. So, we're using Engine Guardian. Every time I try not to use Engine Guardian, you know what I do? I go back to Engine Guardian. I mean, you could do a couple different things here. So, number one is obviously Engine Guardian. Really good for tanking. It's really good for resources. It's really good for kiting. The next option is probably Balorg. Balorg's better for damage, but we're using 2 damage sets, so I don't want to, dump that much into damage. I want to have some survivability, so I'm using Engine Guardian here to absorb damage and give me resources back. One thing to note about Mechanical Acuity is, as you know, it gives you crit damage every time for the 5 seconds, but it also gives you critical healing. So for the 5 seconds, if you're under trouble and it procs, you can heal for 5 seconds with all crits. So if you have your rally and you see this proc, you can hit your rally at that time to make sure you get that crit, or you can use your vigor right as it proc as well to get a crazy tooltip on your vigor. So just keep that in mind. is that mechanical acuity is a little bit like Heartland Conquer in that way, because it gives healing, but it'll also give damage at the same time. So very solid. I think this is a decent set. You can pair with Heartland Conquer, but I'm not using it on this particular build, but you can. So yeah. So of course we're using a heavy Curus and mechanical acuity. You don't want divines though. You probably want reinforced on the chest, and then the shoulder avenging guardian. Again, probably impen or well fitted here. And then our other 5-piece we're using is deadly. So deadly is a really good set for Templar. It's probably the best set. Like Templar fits this set the best because they have so much dots and channeled abilities. So this set gives weapon damage, critical, and then more weapon damage, and then you get damage over time, and channeled abilities are 18% stronger, so that accounts for biting jabs, that accounts for crescent sweep. It's really nice. It pretty much counts for all the main damage you're going to do, so it's very good. Biting jabs hits like a truck with this, so it's very good. And just to let you guys know, I believe we are running 1 medium, 2 medium, 3 medium, and then 4 medium. So we're using 4 medium and 3 heavy, so use that as you see fit. Now, one option I mean, if you really want to lose some resistance, you could drop mechanical acuity legs and then put on a deadly or a mechanical acuity jewelry piece and then put on deadly here, and then you could use major evasion instead. But that is up for you to your own debate. I think that's what I might change on this build. If I had to change something, I would probably go 5 medium. And then run evasion on that back bar spot. Just so you guys know, I just want to let you know that that's always an option to get that major evasion and get major expedition as well. So yeah, in terms of traits, I would go reinforced on the chest and legs, and then I would mix in some impen and some well fitted on the rest. Obviously my traits aren't ideal, but that's okay, we'll get there. So yeah, and then the jewelry, like I said, it's just deadly and mechanical acuity. If you want to go 5 medium, feel free. If you want to go whatever whatever you feel is appropriate, feel free to do that. So, yeah, pretty much that's the gear. If you do want to run no proc, what I would say is what you have to probably do. Obviously, you're gonna have to sub out mechanical acuity. So you could put in, I believe, Heartland Conquer works. You could use Heartland Conquer. You could also use New Moons. I believe that works as well. Something that just gives straight up damage. So yeah. And before I forget, we are using the Shadow Mundus. I don't know if I mentioned that. And we are an orc. So yeah. So let's get into skills. You can change these a little bit. I'm going to give you why and what you can change. So here we're using top point charge. This is why we're using Bewitched Sugar Skulls. Because in my opinion, I hate Javelin. I think it's so trash. Like, no one wants a freaking range CC on a melee build. Like, you want something that's going to close the gap and stun them. So we use top point charge, and I know it costs magic, but that's actually not a bad thing necessarily, because we don't need magic that much, and we have 17k, so like that's plenty to be able to spam magic CC. So like it's very good. Stunning them, it does decent damage, but it's not scaled correctly because we're stam, but it's still not bad. So it's a very good skill. I think it's much better than Javelin, is my opinion, so that's why I use it. Here we use Caltrops. So obviously Caltrops is going to be a very good snare, which is nice. It's going to do a little tiny bit of damage, which is okay. But what it does is it gives that major breach, which is really important in my opinion. It's going to buff your damage a ton. But the only thing, it's kind of annoying to use sometimes. I don't know, it's totally up to you. You could use Caltrops, but we aren't running Malcast, so if we're not going to use a crit skill, you're going to be losing crit unless you're running, unless you end up getting your acuity proc. So what I would suggest is either run Caltrops. You can try it. It's going to give you flat damage, which is nice, but you have to use a skill, or you could run Camo Hunter. Camo Hunter is going to give you that extra crit bonus when your acuity is down, which is very good. It's going to give you a little bit more weapon damage because of the Fighters Guild passive, and it's going to give you minor berserk when you hit someone from the side or behind them. So 5% extra damage. So I'm pretty sure the breach scales a little bit higher for flat damage, but this is going to give you that extra crit and also extra damage from hitting people from behind. So I think this one might be a little bit better, but it's totally up to you. Totally your, it's just your opinion. So just keep that in mind. So next, we are using Power of the Light. Now, you don't have to use this. It gives a minor breach, but you don't really need minor breach considering that physical damage procs that anyways. So they did buff this skill, this patch. It does a good amount of damage, but it is annoying when you're fighting 1vx and you have to hit it on someone. It's kind of tough. It's a single target move. It's not, it is what it is. But if you don't want to use this, another option you could use is Trap Beast. Trap Beast is very solid. It's a very good skill. It's that simple. It does a lot of dot damage, but the reason it's so good is because it gives you extra crit damage by 10%, and it immobilizes them. So it's a CC, it's a dot. Plus, keep in mind that you do get 15% dot damage, or 18% dot damage. So this is going to hit harder. And on top of it, Minor Force is very nice because we are running Mechanical Acuity. So if you hit someone with Trap Beast, and then your Mechanical Acuity is proc at the same time, you're getting 10% crit damage from your Templar, you're getting 10% crit damage from this, and then you're getting 13% crit damage from your Mundus Stone. So you're getting over 30% crit damage if you're at this, and then you're critting automatically with Acuity. So could be a nasty combo. Sometimes this skill is very annoying to hit though, so I do honestly prefer Power of the Light, but it is up to you. So here we're using Executioner. I don't think there's really another option, and it's just good. Great finisher. Obviously our bread and butter is biting jabs, so biting jabs hits like a truck, it does a bunch of damage, it slows people, it gives you a weapon crit, so that is another thing I wanted to mention as well. Now when you don't run Camo Hunter, you don't have this all the time, but you will have your biting jabs giving it to you, so that's something to mention. So you kind of do have it. That's why I have been using Caltrops, because you do get the savagery from this, but if you haven't used it in the last 8 seconds, then you won't have it. But you're probably gonna be using it enough, you know what I mean? So that's why I go between Caltrops and Camo Hunter, just trying to figure out which one I like better, considering that you do get the weapon crit from this. So that's why I say it's up for debate between Caltrops. But yeah, this skill is very good. It's that simple. And then last we have Crescent Sweep. I use this over Dawnbreaker because it also hits very hard. It does 60% extra damage if they're in front of you, and it pulses around you. Very, very good. And it's cheaper than Dawnbreaker, so it's up to you. You could use Dawnbreaker, but I actually do like this one better. So back bar, restoring focus. Obviously, you need it for your resolve, and on top of that, it gives you 480 recovery, which is beautiful. Very good, so good. And then on top of that, it gives you a nice little heal. So if you use it and just stand in it, nice little heal. It's solid. So next, we are using Extended Ritual. This is the morph to use. Do not use the other morph. Trust me. This one's better because it cleanses 5 harmful effects, so that could be anything from Venomous Claw, Noxious Breath, Dawnbreaker, Plague Break, even though you don't even want to cleanse that. But you know what I'm saying, alright? It's a bunch of things. So, very good. And enemies can use it too, or teammates can use it as well. So it's a very good one. It's a good heal. It's good. It's a very, very good skill. So make sure you have it. And then here is a flex spot. So this is what I was saying, you can definitely change things on the build. So this is where I would say you change this, if you want to. Number one, your option is a couple things here. So if you do run 5 medium, like I said in the beginning of the video, you could use evasion here instead. That's up for debate. It's probably better, but another option here is instead of getting AoE reduction, you can get all reduction by 10%. With just having this slotted. So that was why I haven't been running 5 medium. I've been running this instead. But it's a min-max game. It's really up to you. I do think evasion might be a little better just because you can get that major expedition along with it. So that's very nice as well. But again, this is up to you. Right now I'm just trying this out. It also gives you some magic recovery. It gives you major protection at all times. But you know what? I think I'm going to go with evasion probably. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. It's an option. So this is why I have it slotted. So lastly, obviously Vigor and Rally. So our tool is bad because we don't have our we don't have food on. So hold on. Oh, I'm almost out of food. But we have food on, so yeah, it's like 16k before, whatever. for extra healing, blah blah blah. So it's a very good skill. Obviously, you have to have it. So yeah. And then lastly, we use Rally. It procs our Vase Strand. It gives a big burst heal. It gives stamina recovery. You know what? You know the deal. You know the deal. And then lastly, we have Remembrance. If you want, you could use what is that called? What is that skill called? Undo, the ultimate for Psychic Order. I don't remember what it's called when you morph it, but you could use that instead. But probably be better. This one's not bad either, because when you do get in trouble, you say, like, oh shit, and you gotta heal. Use this, and you're pretty much invincible. And then you also get that major protection afterwards, so that's nice too. So yeah, this is, you know, it's up to you. But you know, I'd like to give you guys some options because it's definitely sometimes you don't know what you want to use. And then my issue here is that, to be honest, I don't really give a crap about the CP. I don't usually play CP, but I will say my opinion on it. Definitely get, here we go, AoE damage, crit resist, max stam, weapon and spell damage. But if I'm gonna go back and change something, I'd probably change crit resist to extra direct damage. It's up to me. And then I would do status effect, core, combat, skills cost less, damage reduction when you're under CC immunity, recovery, but that's not what I would want, and then armor. I would change this to something else. But anyways, I don't care about CP that much. It's up to you. But that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you enjoy. I'm going to link the gameplay in the description, so make sure you check that out. And make sure you check out my other build videos because I do upload pretty frequently. And let me know if you guys are excited for New World, because I'm pretty excited to give me an alternative to ESO. So let me know what you guys think down below, please. And have a good one, guys. And thank you.